PC fam, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. You know what? If you're new here, let me introduce what's going on. I'm Big Ox Bob. This is Chill. This is Chill Town. We are here to talk hoops today. This is a chance for you to actually come up here and literally chill with chill. We talk hoops. We send out the link. You come up. We talk more hoops. That's all. It's just straight hoop talk.
That's what we're doing right here.
Chill's off season, but the show must go on. We Today we're supposed to be talking about some of the top moments of the season that just passed, 2024, 2025 season. But we got some news first, Chill. Let's go through the news. Let's start with Cleveland acquiring Lonzo Ball for Okoro. How do you feel about that move for both teams?
Well, first of all, Ox, I mean, this is when the season really starts. I said this to you already, that this is how we find out who GMing, who's doing as good a job as they can do. Isaac Okoro is on the books for $30 million with the Bulls. He just finished his contract last year. He got 2 more years left on his deal. This is a money move for the Chicago Bulls, not the Chicago Bulls, for Cleveland. This is a money move for them, and they pick up a player who has shown that I can still play, and I think that he'll be really good in the backup. He'll be really good in the backup lead guard role. There was a part of me, and I was a little reluctant about it, thinking to myself, if healthy, could he push Darius Garland for that lead guard spot, considering how good he was at one point? I mean, could we get back to that? Could we get back to 16-7 Lonzo as an all-league defender? Can we get back to that dude? But then I'm thinking, I think that they're doing something else in Cleveland. I think that they're on to something. I think this is a salary dump. He's on the books for $10 million. They got a team option after this year. Depending on what he does, they can move him at the deadline and probably get something for him, something substantial, or they could keep him for the rest of the season. Isaac Okoro, it just wasn't working, Ox, and I thought it would. He had gotten better as a long ball shooter. He had gotten better as a defender. His closeouts were a lot better. He was a lot smarter. I felt like he was turning into a real D&3 guy who could do other things, but a real D&3 guy. It just wasn't working. He couldn't really stay healthy. In the process of him not being able to stay healthy, he just was an inconsistent shooter. So, I mean, they ended up, and especially what they're trying to do in Cleveland in terms of building that thing. And you know how I feel about Cleveland. I think Cleveland's winning the NBA championship next year. So I don't think that there's a lot of room for error. So with that being said, I mean, I think that they had to move off him. I think it was a smart thing, no doubt. I think it was a good thing.
I think it was a really good move for Cleveland. I think it helps out financially, but I don't see this as purely a financial move. I think it just happened to be that way. I like that. Like how you said that you got them winning the championship. I think this is the type of move that puts them that way. You know what I'm saying? A backup lead guard like Lonzo, if he is in fact healthy, Chill, I think that says a lot. I don't think he's going to be pushing DG out the way for the starting position or anything like that, but he's bigger than both of them.
6'6".
You know what I'm saying? He's a much better defender than both of them. You know, so he can come off the bench for either one. You know what I mean? And make their guard lineup bigger. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And I you know, even at times, I mean, because there's DG and DG's so small. I don't think they should do too much of it, but at certain instances, you can go super small ball, you know what I'm saying, and get both of those dudes off the ball. Lonzo bringing it up, playing D. Isaac Okoro, I thought he was going to be better.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Isaac was going to be better. So I think this was great for Cleveland.
Well, it's obvious, Ox, that they're moving on. Josh Giddey is their guy moving forward. That's obvious. Yeah. In addition to it being a money move, and you and I have spoken about this in the past, that like you can't talk pro basketball unless you can talk the business of basketball. We got to talk contracts. We got to talk money. This isn't 2K where you're just throwing guys on units and just expecting it to work out. Nah, we got to talk contracts. We got to talk the money. The money has to be able to add up. And to get Lonzo Ball at $10 million and to get Isaac Okoro off your books for $20 million, so you're basically getting a backup lead guard, for half the money and probably better production on the offensive and defensive end. I got a better distributor. I got just as good a long ball shooter. I got a great defender. And the only issue has really been health, but that's been the issue with Okoro when he was in Cleveland. The difference is I think we've passed that threshold with Lonzo last season to show if he can play. And it's obvious that he can still play. The question is this season coming up with this Cavs team, can he hold up? That's the $1 million question. Can he hold up for the duration? Because I think that in terms from a production standpoint, I think he'll give them some really good minutes. Really good.
Yeah, I mean, Lonzo, he's just a good basketball player.
Yes, he is.
So that the only concern is can his body hold up? You know what I mean? Like he's had some pretty significant injuries. He's missed a lot of basketball due to that. Yep. And that's as we say, Chill, the best ability is availability. So if he's available, I love it. I love it.
I just like the fact, Knox, that the Chicago Bulls, they seem to have a plan in Chicago. It seems like they got an idea of what they want to do. Now, whether it works or not, that's something different. But okay, they move off Lonzo. We got our lead guard in Giddey, who, and I said this earlier, Ox, and some people think I might be ridiculous. Ox, don't be surprised if Josh Giddey averages something crazy like 18, 9, and 8 next year. Don't be surprised if you see something like that from him. That and on good efficiency. I don't mean like 50, 40, 90, but like on good efficiency. I wouldn't be surprised to see Josh Giddey averaging like 17 to 19, 7 to 9 rebounds or 7 to 9 assists and 8 or 9 rebounds. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that.
Not at all.
But I feel like Chicago, they have a plan. Okay, we're building our unit. We got our lead guard. We got Matas, who's another young guy who looks like he's turning in. Just from the athleticism alone, I think that I can build something with that. Just from the athleticism alone. And I love this kid from France. I love this French kid, Noah. So it seems like, okay, we're not delusional in the aspect of we're trying to win the NBA championship. No, we're building something. And we're telling our people that. Ox, you're a fan of the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento's a basketball city. One of the things I learned about basketball cities is when you keep it a beam with the people, they'll get behind you. Instead of bullshitting them, like when the Knicks was losing 50 games every year and they telling everybody, okay, we're making the playoffs next year, when there was really no plan. There was really no real plan. Like the Bulls, they actually have a plan. We're not there yet, but this is what we have, and this is what we're working toward.
Right. I agree with you with Josh Giddey. I'm a fan of Josh Giddey's game. I think that nonsense he got involved with a season or two ago, I think that really hurt his PR. But as far as on the court, I think he can get it done. Are you assuming that they're still trading the big fella, Vucevic?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and that's an off-season move or a trade deadline move?
This summer. This summer. I would not be surprised if they was out on Vooch and they moved on from him this summer.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I like what Chicago's doing. We'll see. I'm not really high on Isaac Okoro still though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We'll see what he adds to the team. It's gonna take a little bit of time for the Bulls. So Bulls fans, don't rush. Don't it'll happen.
Y'all on to something. Out there.
And speaking of Bazelis, I just love that kid's game. I love his tenacity, his aggression. He's just an all around good basketball player. So can't wait to see him grow. As far as players moving around, we got news that the Sacramento Kings, we are looking at potentially signing Hall of Fame point guard Russell Westbrook.
I think Russ at this point, I think Russ at this point, Ox, I don't think he's a negative, man. I think Russ is a guy, one, that you need in your locker room. Russ is the adult in the room. Russ is the guy, he's the consummate professional. Russ isn't the guy that's going to come in and ruffle feathers in a bad way. He's going to come in. He's going to make you compete. Yeah. He's going to bring effort, and you see that just resonates throughout the rest of the crew. To be honest with you, Ox, despite how you might feel about his game and how out of control he can be, okay, I get that part, and how frustrating it can be. 100%, I get that. Ox, in all the years that he's been in the league, I have yet to hear anybody say something bad about him as a teammate. Right. I haven't heard any teammates go, yo, man, me and Russ, it just didn't work, and Russ wasn't a good guy. And anybody that played with Russ, including James Harden, including KD, especially how that thing ended, have all said Russ is a great guy. And you need that in your locker room, right? You need the adult in the locker room that's, if some things are going on and we got some nonsense, we're looking to the vet to give us some guidance. And Russ is that guy. Ox, when I played 18, if you played 18 years in the league, you know, I'm not just here to collect a paycheck. I mean, I think Russ has made the most money of all players in NBA history. That includes LeBron James in terms of contracts. I think he's made the most money of all of these guys, all of them. So with that being said, he's not just here to collect a paycheck. No, he could have just went back to Denver to do that. I'm here, one, because he still loves to play. Two, he's still viable. One of the better transition guards in the game. One of the better rotation guards in the game. I think that he's going to push. And you need a point guard, too. Let's be clear about that. You need a point guard. Now, let's be clear, Ox. It's not like he's your lead guard of the future. Russ, he'll be 37 in November. So it's obvious that, you know, Russ's best years are behind him. Okay, fine. But can he supplement for right now? Yes. And I also think that in Sacramento, I think that there are some moves that are going to be made. I think that I think the Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan pair, I think that's going to get broken up. I don't think they're going to stick with those two guys. I think one of those guys.
We got to hold on. We got to hold on to Zach, right?
I would hold on to the younger guy. That's just me. I would hold on to the younger guy, even though I really think DeMar DeRozan can still play, but I already got the vet in Russ. If I'm signing Russ, I already have him.
If I had to take two of the three, sure, I'm sticking with Zach and LaVine. I'm not Zach and LaVine. I'm sorry, DeMar and LaVine. If it was Russ, Zach, and DeMar, and it was like you can only have two of these guys, then we're just gonna keep the ones we got. And that's my preference, right? And with that being said, y'all, I've never said that I thought Russ wasn't a good teammate. I never said I thought Russ wasn't a good guy. I mean, you can see how Russ and Pat Beverly became friends. You know what I mean? And that even shows like Russ is just a real dude. I think Russ is a stand-up guy, a real thorough dude. You know, I really believe that about Russ. My only issue with Russ is that I think sometimes he just turns into an airhead. You know what I mean? Like, and I think Russ on our team a couple seasons ago would have really helped. You know what I'm saying? Even this version of Russell Westbrook, I think would have helped with the team we had a couple
2 years ago, like when you lost to the Warriors.
Yeah, when Steph came and put 100 on us at home, you know what I'm saying, in Game 7. Like on that team, I think Russ could have came. You know, when Kevin Huerter just disappeared on us, you know what I'm saying. I think Russ could have came and De'Aaron got hurt, broke his hand. I think Russ could have came and gave us that extra boost of energy, that extra dog of we're here, yo. We're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying. I think Russ brings that level of intensity to the locker room. He brings that level of intensity. I think everywhere he goes. You know what I'm saying? When you see how Russ
goes up, as soon as he walks through the door, it just goes up.
I'm talking about on the plane, on the bus from the plane to the gym.
You see him
at practice, at breakfast. I think Russ is bringing that energy of, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all be careful. We're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think Russ brings that energy, and I think every team needs that energy. For our team right now, I think adding Russell Westbrook is just kind of just like, why? You know what I'm saying? We got like I was trying to say on Thursday, chill. We got much bigger fish to fry.
You did say that. Yes, you did.
We are not at the let's repaint the walls. You know what I'm saying? Let's shampoo the carpets. Like, no, this is time to kick some walls down. You know what I'm
saying? Foundation. There's termites in the foundation. We got to clean that out.
I mean, we got DeMontis. I think our foundation might be okay, but we need a new roof. You know what I'm saying? It's leaking, chill. It's leaking bad. You know what I'm saying? So we want
to handle that before that hole gets bigger.
And that's all I've been trying to say about the Kings. I think we have much bigger issues, you know what I'm saying, going on. And Russell Westbrook's not going to fix what we have going on.
Now, free agency is coming up, Ox. And that's what I'm thinking about from that aspect. Free agency is coming up. Is there somebody, because I don't think you guys have a lot of money. You got a lot of money tied up in the Sabonis. You just signed DeMar DeRozan to that extension when you got him this season. Zach LaVine, I think he's on the books for another year or two. The question is what's the plan moving forward in terms of a lead guard? You know how I feel about Devin Carter. I like Devin Carter. I've always been a big fan of Devin Carter. Led the Big East in scoring, one of the better bucket getters. I mean, who better to show him and with the exception of guys like Chris Paul, I mean, who better to show him how to be a lead guard than Russ? I mean, I've been in the league 18 years. I've been a bucket getter like you. I know how to score. I know how to get off the ball. Now, don't get me wrong, Ox. I can appreciate the blonde hair moments. I can appreciate the what the hell are you doing moments. But I do need a guy like Russell Westbrook. If Devin Carter is the future of my organization, I do need a guy like Russell Westbrook to show him how to do this. I mean, I've been to the playoffs. I've been the league MVP. I've been deep in the playoffs. I've led the league in scoring. I've led the league in assists. So I've done just about everything that there is to do at the lead guard spot. So I can show you how to be a productive point guard in this league. And I think that's what his role is. I very much understood where you were coming from when you told me, we got bigger fish to fry. Okay, we 100% got a lot of problems in the house, Ox. We're not going to be able to fix all of this at once. And I think I feel like getting Russell Westbrook, I feel like it remedies an issue of Devin Carter being young and not knowing exactly how to play the position, and we're going to need him in the future.
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Chill. I would honestly, I would be happy to have Russell Westbrook on our basketball team.
Sure.
Just because, like, I don't feel like, as currently constructed, I don't feel like we're championship contenders anyway. So it's kind of like, to your point, build up our morale. You know what I'm saying? Like Russ is one of those guys that you know what I'm saying, you're happy to have that level of intensity. I love that level of intensity when you're playing basketball. I don't like nonchalant basketball players. I don't like, oh, let's have fun basketball players. I don't like, oh, well, it's just a game basketball players. I don't like anything about, I don't like those type of people, Chill. I'm not even today. In my at my age too, I'm not welcome at a lot of open runs because I take that shit too serious. Every game to me is like game 7 of the finals. I will press you 94 feet in open gym. I'm not here to go. But like there was a morning run I used to go to back in California, and it was like, it was most of us were 30 and up, you know what I'm saying? Guys got, regular office jobs and stuff
just
like
coming
that.
in to get a run. I'm just coming in to get a run. See,
but I didn't know that.
No,
I didn't know we were just here to try to get a sweat in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to win. I'm like, yo, come on. They're like, man, chill. Okay, well, I guess this run isn't for me. I didn't know. I gotta go play with the youngsters because I'm trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, chill. I love the Russell Westbrook intensity. I hate the airhead moments. My team's not a championship contending team. Come on, Russ. You know what I'm saying? Let's to your point. Let's big up Devin Carter. Let's pick up some intensity. You know what I'm saying? I think Domantas Sabonis needs a guy like Russell Westbrook around that to make Domantas know that we're still here trying to compete. Because I think last year I think some things kind of crept in there. You know what I'm saying? To where maybe are we being serious still? So.
Losing Foxy was a big deal too. Yes, it was.
Yeah, very big.
And to your point, and to your point, I know we got to move on, but Russ just makes you sit up and be more attentive when Russ shows up. It's like, okay, this dude is here. I got to pay more attention. I got to get more. I got to get locked in more when he's here, even at the age that he's at.
Yeah. I hear you on that, so I'm not mad at it. And some more news, Chill. Looks like the Minnesota Timberwolves are not letting Naz Reid walk.
Please don't.
He goes nowhere. Naz Reid intends to sign a new 5-year, $125 million contract. Chill. What does that mean for the Wolves?
I think that they're trying to secure their future. I think they not just secure their future, but I think that they still think that there's a window for them to win right now, and they think that it involves Naz Reid. I have never been a fan of letting guys walk out the front door for nothing and losing them. I understand the logic of addition by subtraction. I definitely get that, but you cannot just let guys walk out the front door. You definitely have to get something for them. And I feel like Naz Reid, at the age that he's at, playing at the level that he's playing, I don't want to lose him for nothing. And if I'm able to sign him, which they are, because Julius Randle is another one who's got a team option. Not only him, they could very well lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They could lose him in free agency. So with losing him, I still have to secure my future. Naz Reid's one of the best rotation guys in the league, if not the best rotation guy in the league. If you look at all the guys, Malik Monk gets thrown by the wayside because he was hurt this season, but Malik Monk, Ty Jerome, Pritchard, your man TJ McConnell. When you talk about those guys, when you talk about those guys, Nas Reed is right at the top of that list. 6'9", can crack the long ball, can rebound, one of the better dirty work guys in the game, and he fits with what they're doing in Minnesota. And on top of that, Ox, they wasn't trying to hear him walking out the front door because I see him going right to Houston. I see him going. If he walks out the front door in Minnesota, he goes right to Houston. And I don't think Minnesota was trying to hear that at all. And on any level where they trying to hear him, ended up in Houston. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. This is a team in Minnesota that's been getting better as time has gone on. This is twice in 2 years that they've been in the Western Conference Championship. You add Nas Reed for the future, and you hold on to him. I think this is a good thing for them. I don't think they're done yet, but I think this is a really good thing for them.
Yeah. So with that amount of money, the 25 that he's getting, what is that? Because I like to say, like, don't worry about what another guy's making. Keep your eyes on your pockets and whatnot, right? But we know that that's not how it works. What does this mean for the negotiations that Austin Reeves has been going through?
Well, that's interesting, Ox. And the reason why it's interesting because, okay, one guy is a rotation guy, one of the better rotation guys in the league. The other guy is a starter for the Lakers. Like if he was a starter for Charlotte, or if he was a starter in New Orleans, this might not be as big of a deal. I'm a starter in Los Angeles. And to your point, I thought that he was I thought that he was around that like that number, anywhere between 30 to 35. So I think the number with him, let's see, I think the extension was for 90. Yeah, I think the extension was for 90. I wouldn't be surprised if I would not be surprised if we got a 5-year deal for something like that. That would not surprise me at all. Like 5 years, 130, something like that. That wouldn't surprise me. With a player op in year 5, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Right. Okay. Well, shout out to Nas, man. Get your bag, young fella. Get your bag. In other news, here, apparently Nico Harrison believes that his relationship with the Mavs is somewhat mended. He says that they're in a win now mode, and Cooper Flag will help that. He also says that he believes that the Maverick fans are starting to see his vision. But chill, it's kind of peculiar that he says that to me, because I'm not to me, but it's peculiar to me that he says that, because kind of makes you think like, well, was your vision trading Luka and then getting the number 1 pick? Like that's it's what I mean. Like that's kind. It's just kind of peculiar that you say that, because once again, I don't want to try to get back into the league is rigged type conversation, but it's kind of like, are you just trying to take that like, oh look, we got the number 1 pick, so you see my vision? Like, bro, that wasn't a part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? Or because right now we're gonna move forward as if in this conversation, let's just keep the rig talked out of it. You know what I'm saying? Everything's even Stevens, right? Y'all had 1% chance to get the number 1 pick. You're telling me that like, you can't bamboozle us like that, Nico. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not that slow. I'm really not. I might be slow, but I'm not that slow. But
right.
So we clear. I believe there's 14 teams in the lottery, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, all 14 of them, Cooper Flag was their vision. So cut the shit. Let's not make it look like Cooper Flag was your vision. Every last one of them, their idea was to win the lottery. And if we win the lottery, Cooper Flag is our guy. Right. I get that part. However, I said this to you earlier. I remember when Kobe Bryant had gotten into that nonsense in Colorado, and it was reported later on that he ended up buying his wife a $4 million ring. That's what this lottery pick was. It was that $4 million ring. That, okay, this may smooth some things over. This may smooth some things over. Now, don't get me wrong, Ox. I'm still in the doghouse. Okay, let's be clear about that. It's not like, this fixes everything. No, I'm still in the doghouse, and this thing still has to work. But this may quiet things down a little bit, and this may get people to see. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. And I understand why people felt like they felt about Luka. Because Luka, at 25 years old, young guy, arguably the best player in the league, definitely a top 5 player in the league. You were just in the NBA championship. With you being in the NBA championship, you end up moving off of this guy. Well, when you do that, immediately there's a curiosity from everybody. And then that curiosity turns into outrage. What the hell are you doing? We were just in the NBA championship. So now you turn around and you show the vision of, all right, this is the direction we're going in. We're trying to build an NBA champion, a contender predicated on defense. We don't think that we can do it with him. And I know what you guys are thinking. I know how much you love Luka, but the idea is to win the NBA championship. That's what we're trying to do. And we don't think that we can win it with him. There are plenty of us who looked at that Dallas team. You in particular, Ox, you saw that Dallas team and thought that if they ran up on Oklahoma City in the playoffs, if they were healthy, that they had a really good shot against them. And with that being said, Nico looks at this team. I thought they had just as good a shot as anybody getting back to the finals. Yeah, I thought they had just as good a shot looking at what was going on in the Western Conference. So Nico was looking at this landscape of this. I got a 3-year window. I'm going to put together a crew that I think can win, that I think can compete to win the NBA championship. Don't get me wrong, Ox. I need some stuff to go my way. Tyrese Halliburton ends up getting hurt. That goes Oklahoma City's way. It's some unfortunate luck for Indiana, but it's some luck. Well, the fortunate luck for Nico Harrison is I win the lottery. That's the fortunate luck for me. So now I get Cooper Flag and I can implement him immediately into what we're doing. But I don't have to put a lot of pressure on him like they would in Charlotte, like they would in Washington, where he would have to play immediately and he would have to produce at a high level immediately. No, he's a guy who can play and basically get ushered along by Anthony Davis, by Derek Lively, by Gafford, by the vets on this crew that can show him how to play. And when it starts to go that way, because again, I think I said this to you yesterday, when I walk into the arena and it's like, okay, I want to be one of the better defensive players in the game. I'm already a good defensive player. And I want to be one of the better defensive players in the game. And I look over, oh shit, that's Anthony Davis right there. Okay, great.
Right.
All right, I got to work on my ball handling. Is that Kyrie Irving over there? I just want to make sure I'm not going crazy. Is that Kyrie Irving? I got to get my jump shot over, and then I turn around. That's Klay Thompson over there.
The immortal.
Okay, so I'm set. I'm put in a space where I can definitely be successful. And I think Nico Harrison, again, Ox, you need some things to go your way. And winning the lottery, of course, there's some people who are like, yo, this really wasn't the vision. It was, but it just was the vision for everybody else too. It wasn't just you. It wasn't like you had this plan and you were the only one that was masterminding this and this. You came up with this idea. Yo, we're gonna get Cooper Flag, and Philly thought the same thing. San Antonio thought the same thing. They all thought the same thing. It wasn't just you.
That's my only thing with that statement. It's like if I'm cool with you bigging up the move. Like, yeah, we got Cooper Flag coming in. He's gonna fit right in. Apparently, I didn't see the video, but apparently Jason Kidd is saying things like, "Hey, I'm gonna let him run point a little bit. I'm gonna make him uncomfortable." You know what I'm saying? Build it. Yeah, me too. I love that as well. I'm gonna give him the ball. Make him uncomfortable, help build him up, and all that. And so for Nico to say, yeah. We have a good squad now. We got Cooper Flag, so we're in win now mode. We can, he can insert himself when Kyrie gets healthy. This, that. Yeah, I'm with that. When you say we got the number 1 pick, you see my vision. It's kind of like, Nico, calm down. Let's not oversell this thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Because
I was talking about Ox.
Right,
got the number 1 pick.
It's like that wasn't your plan. That was
it really wasn't.
But it's because things that got compounded in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like that trade was the first thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on, but then when Kyrie went down with that ACL, I was like, yo, Nico, you might need to hit the bunker. You know what I'm saying? You might need to get into that survival bunker because this is ugly. So but shout out to Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis deciding I'm not gonna sit out because Kyrie's out. I'm gonna, and remember, I was like, AD, you might want to chill. But for Anthony Davis to consciously decide, like, no, I'm playing ball. We got a team, we're gonna compete. They, you know what I'm saying? And they looked really good. They looked really good, even without Kyrie. And they got to the play and they ultimately got knocked out. But I liked what I saw from them, and I think the fans like that too. And I think the fans appreciated that they had a team that was ready, that wanted to compete with no Luka, with no Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? I think that was good for just basketball morale to see, hey, we still got a competent basketball team. We still, you know what I'm saying? We still got some really good pieces. I think they got the best front court in the NBA.
If I think about front courts in the NBA, I think about what's going on with the Lakers. Okay, they got LeBron playing the 5. That's not going to work. They don't even have a 5 man. I think Cleveland has something to say about that. Ox.
Yep.
The Celtics, we already know where they are. The
KP's out of there.
The Knicks. This kid, Marshall. I mean, not Marshall. James Najee. I love him, Ox. I loved him when he was coming out. The Pacers. I don't know if I hate that, Ox. I don't. Detroit got a good front line too. And the Orlando Magic. Don't forget about your boy Franz and Paulo. Don't forget about
right. They're playing 3 and a 4. Yeah, so okay.
Don't forget about those two. So I think they got, but they're definitely going to be one of the best front courts in the game, if not the best front court in the game. I love what they're doing in Dallas. Nico, I saw what you were doing before the draft, but again, your plan was everybody else's plan. Don't make it sound like look what I did. No, you took everybody else had the same plan that you had. So let's not act like
Khalil Ware and Bam. I like them too.
Love that. Yeah, love that front line too.
Yeah, but still, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stand on that. Dallas, I think Dallas got the best front court in the NBA right now. Chill. We just speaking of kids getting drafted. Ace Bailey. Who went number 5 to the Utah Jazz. There was concerns that he might not show up to Salt Lake City. Chill. There was reports today that the Jazz have actually been in communication with Ace Bailey. They have a very open communication. Have been having good talks, and that he's supposed to report to Salt Lake City actually today. I think that's good. What do you think?
I think it's great, man. I'm a lot of times we hear these guys, I'm not showing up, I'm not doing that. I vividly remember, I'll bring up Kobe Bryant again. I vividly remember when Kobe Bryant was coming out of school and told the Nets, if you draft me, I'm going to Europe. And he said later on, if the Nets would have drafted me, I would have been in Jersey. I was not going to Europe. Of course. He said I would have been in Jersey if they would have drafted me. So, a lot of this stuff can be a bluff. And also, Ox, I think this is to be honest with you, I think this could be a good thing for him. I don't know exactly what the plan is in Utah, and I don't want to waste Lauri Markkanen is 28 years old. I don't want to waste any more of his years. This is a 20 and almost 10 guy, right? Who was an all-star. I don't want to waste any more of his years. However, with him, with Ace Bailey, I think Ace Bailey can be the consummate. I think he could be the consummate complimentary guy if he's in Utah, because it's not like they got a bevy of young stars that can do what he does. One of the better athletes in the draft. Not only one of the better athletes in the draft, he's got a really good feel for the game. I think he's young, but I think that's something that I think Danny can work with. I think Danny Ainge and that staff can work with that. His ability to get downhill, his ability to finish at the rim has been one of the best that I've seen in a long time. I think that he could be a great transition player. I just think that the Jazz, there's things that, to your point, when it comes to Sacramento, they got bigger fish to fry. Well, if you get Ace Bailey in the fold, you got Markkanen in the fold. Okay, we also got John Collins in the fold. So that's another vet that can teach this kid how to play and teach this kid the game. And Ox, I got to tell you, man, because I lived in Utah. Salt Lake City ain't a bad place when you win it. It is not a bad place when you win it. It's actually a really cool place when you win it. And if they're trying to build something there, I'm all for it. I've just never been a fan of how people try to dictate your career. First of all, if I don't want to live in Utah, that's my right. I have a right to not want to live in Utah. If I don't want to play for the Portland Trailblazers, if I don't want to play for the Sacramento Kings or the Phoenix Suns, I got a right to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, it could get real tricky, and it could be a PR nightmare where if he decides not to show up and Dan plays hardball with him and goes, for every day that you don't show up, I'm fining you. I'm not trading you. For every day that you show up, I'm fining you. And now it gets real tricky because, one, I'm losing money. And then it looks bad on the organization, too, in terms of Danny Ainge, because is this the kind of team that I want to play for, where they play hardball and they make you play this? Is that something I want to do if you're a potential free agent? No, it's really not. But this could also work out to be really good for Ace Bailey, because he's going to play immediately. This is not a situation, Knox, where he's not going to play.
Yeah, I don't see it being coming back on Utah though, chill, because it's like we're drafting good basketball players. You know what I'm saying? Like I drafted the kid that came out of Rutgers that we all thought has all-star potential one day. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody should do that. That's on this kid to be a professional. You know what I mean? Like I don't like this city, I don't like that city. Like grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand you want to control your destiny. Like I said yesterday, if you want to do that, that's fine. But you're gonna have to live with the consequences of what happens. If you're good enough to push that type of line and you get your way, by all means, you know what I'm saying? Live your life. You got the right to do that. We have the right to make it as hard on you as possible if you're gonna make it as hard on us stuff. You know what I'm saying? So consequences come with that. Kobe Bryant could, do what you want, do what you can get away with, Cole. You know what I'm saying? But Ace Bailey, even young Cole, Ace Bailey wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of hard for me. On top of that, Utah, I think Utah gets a bad rap. I think Salt Lake City gets a bad rap for people that have never ever maybe been to Utah. I mean, Salt Lake City's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's like
when you winning, it's not a bad place to play, man. It's not.
Right.
I lived in Utah, and it's not a bad place, especially when the Jazz was rolling like they were rolling. Yeah, man, it's not a bad place to be at all.
On top of that though, chill, because I'm not a just take what we give you type of guy. Like I understand people have preferences. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, when you're 19, 20 years old, you get to the league, you should be thinking about the gym anyway. And I mean, all of them, all the NBA facilities are 94 feet, hardwood. You know what I'm saying? They all got.
What else you got going on, Ox, at 19 years old? What else are you doing? If I'm being honest, Ox, today is July. It's almost July. Ox, you 19 years old and it's the summertime. What are you doing, Ox? Where can I find you?
You should be getting better. I should be in the lab getting up 2,500 shots. Like,
what am I doing?
Work on your ball handling. You know what I'm saying? Get in the weight room, young fella. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, and even no matter how good you are, you have to be really good. You have to be really good to be 18, 19, 20 and to be able to play against 27, 30-year-olds, because the strength, the physicality, how strong they are, it's way different. Yeah. I remember being 18 trying to play with dudes that were coming home from overseas. We're in the lab, and I'm like, God, I'm better than him. But I'll get on the block with him. I can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have to get in that weight room. You know what I mean? So while I can understand people having preferences where they live, I've always kind of had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're in the lab anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like all the gyms are the same as far as the floor. They're all 10 feet high. You know what I'm saying? So stop crying and get to work.
I think it's more about. I think it's more about quality of life than it is just about basketball. But again, to your point, when I'm 19, I ain't really thinking. Like when I went to college, I wasn't thinking about living in Utah. I was like, yo, I'm going to play basketball. That's all I cared about at that point. I didn't care about anything else.
Right. Well, I mean, it looks like it's working out. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Ace does report today or tomorrow, because apparently he has till Monday. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see kids do good. I want to see kids make good decisions. I also want to see kids listening to the adults. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have the right adults around.
You don't know everything. It's okay to listen to somebody. There's somebody who's been through this before you. You don't know everything.
And I know you've witnessed this too. I've always when I was younger, I remember being like 13, 12. You know, and there would be most of us, we were kids and we would be like goofing around, but there was always one or two kids I could see that's like, man, you're clearly more mature than all of us. You know what I'm saying? And why is that? And a lot of it is because I think a lot of them listen to their father, listen to maybe their uncle, their big cousin or something. I'm telling you, I believe that the kids that are more mature that are better and have more things going on at a younger age are the ones that listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm all for that, man. Listen to the people around you if you have the proper people around you. Now, I don't know if I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Sharif Cooper's father.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm missing videos. I'm not gonna go off of all that social media stuff. I don't know what type of guy he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not gonna just say he's a bad person. I don't know him at all.
Yeah.
But I hope he has the right intentions. I hope he's leading Ace because he thinks that that's better for him. I hope it's not just whatever, a ploy or whatever it may be. I'm not sure what they're trying to put on him, but I just hope he has the best intentions for Ace Bailey, and I hope Ace Bailey has the best intentions for himself. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to Utah and get to work, young fella. You got too much talent. You got too much talent to be out here. I can only control what man. We don't want to hear all that shit, bro. Get in the lab. You know what I'm saying? Let's play ball. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. Look, let me get through a couple of these super chats. I see a couple of them coming in. Yep. Let's start from the top, and we got Anime Spurs Fan 90. Win VP, first team All NBA and defense. Spurs Dynasty uploading. Stop being impatient with my guys, chill. Let greatness cook. Go Spurs, go. Manu top 5 shooting guards. Which one? That one. Don't argue with me, chat. Argue with your mother. Wow.
I'm not rushing the process. I just don't. I'm first of all, if you've heard anything that I've said, you've heard me say how much I'm digging what they're doing in Detroit, how much I'm digging what they're doing in Houston. You've heard me say that. However, we live in an era where there's so much parity that one move can push you over the top to win the NBA championship. Anime. 2 years ago, if I told you that the Oklahoma City Thunder were going to have the league MVP and they were winning the NBA championship, you probably wouldn't have bought that. You thought that they were good, but you probably wouldn't have bought that they were winning it, right? So what do? They trade Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso, and they bag Hartenstein in free agency. Those guys turn out to be the difference in what they're doing. We already have J-Dub in the fold. We already have SGA in the fold, right? We already have Cason Wallace, who's in year 2. Chet is turning into who he's turning into. But they end up bagging 2 guys who become the difference in what they're trying to do, and they win the NBA championship. So if you're in a league today where one move can go, especially if we're close, one move can put us from being an 8 seed or a 6 seed to being at the top of the Western Conference, you have to do it. That doesn't mean that I want to rush Wemby. I just don't want to waste Wemby. That's all it is. There's a difference between rushing time and wasting time. I don't want to waste any time with Wemby. That's all I'm saying about Wemby.
Yeah, I agree with that. My thing with them is that I think Wemby's actually ready. You know what I'm saying? With the proper pieces. I don't think Wemby needs 3 more seasons to be ready. I think if he has some guys that are ready to play, like De'Aaron Fox, I think De'Aaron Fox and Wemby are on the same timeline. They're not the same age, but I think they're on the same timeline as far as winning goes. So
I could get with that. I can definitely get with that. Manu Ginobili being a top 5 shooting guard all the time, I know how Ox feel about Manu Ginobili. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just not buying it. Sorry.
Right. HLLSG has been a member for 15 months. Shout out to you, H. Man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
HL wants early prediction for champs, plus a couple sleeper picks.
So next year, if you've heard anything that I've said, SG, I got the Cavs winning the championship next year. I thought that the trajectory that they were on last year, I had them as a semifinals team. They ended up being a semifinals team. This year, I had them in the Eastern Conference Championship, pushing to get to the finals, but I didn't think that they were there yet. I think next year is the year that they challenge for the NBA championship, and I think next year they win it with what Evan Mobley has done, right? The leap that he's taken, the fact that Darius Garland has gotten back to all-star Darius Garland. I think that they just need to get a little tougher, and I think that that's something we can fix. I don't think that that's something that's like if somebody's soft, if somebody is just soft, like Miles Turner, for example, with you being soft, I still think that that's something we can fix collectively. Like you don't have to be the staple for us. And I feel like with the Cavs, I feel like they got a lot of young guys with Mobley and Darius Garland, and they had a Okoro who they just moved off of. But Jared Allen, like that soft tag, like as a collection, we can get tougher. And with us getting tougher, that comes with our leader, and that's where Donovan Mitchell comes in, right? I've said countless times, like the same way I felt about DeAndre Ayton. If I play for the Cavs, I'm walking into practice, I'm starting to fight with Jared Allen. I'm just gonna start a fight with him because we got it. There's things about us that need to be fixed, not from a basketball standpoint, but just from a toughness standpoint, from a mental standpoint. And if we're mentally weak, then immediately teams are gonna prey on that. I don't want that. No. And some sleeper picks, Ox, I love what they're doing in Detroit. I'm picking up the telephone and I'm calling up the Phoenix Suns. I know y'all having a fire sale. Hand over Devin Booker. Hand him over. What you want for him? Hand him over.
That would be great.
But I don't think that we're that far away. I think that I think that we're at a point where I think that we're at a point where we're close enough. And I don't think that we'd have to give up I don't think that we'd have to give up that much for Devin Booker. From a money standpoint, we got to make the money work. But there's things that I don't think that there's things I think we could hold on to in order to. I think there's things we can hold on to in order to stay viable. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, to anybody that maybe got here a little late, or if you're just getting here, we spoke about Lonzo Ball going to Cleveland. We're very aware of the fact that he went to Cleveland. Just letting y'all know in the chat, I saw some people in the chat saying that. But yeah, we know he went to Cleveland, and we spoke about that early in the show. Another super chat from 780 Hoops says, "Chillin' Ox, are American hoopers divas? Because foreign hoopers will lace them up anywhere. SGA got no problem being the OKC, Giannis, Milwaukee, Jokic, Denver." Real quick, let me jump in on this one, Chill. Yeah, American hoopers are divas, but foreign hoopers are divas too.
100% Luka.
I don't want to just make it seem like there's just a vast difference. I do think there is a level of entitlement with some players, but I've been around tons of overseas guys that grew up as top prospects where they're from, and they think their shit don't stink. And that's from tons of different countries, from European countries, even Australia for the time I spent down there. There's guys that's been in their development ranks since they were 13, 12 years old, and they swear that they can walk on water. So yeah, I think a lot of American hoopers are divas, but a lot of foreign hoopers are divas as well. I think there's just a sense of entitlement that comes with getting a bunch of praise early before you truly earned it.
Just because you lace them up anywhere does not mean that you are in high maintenance. It does not mean that. Just because I'll play. I mean, KD is a hooper, but KD can be high maintenance, 100%. Just because I'll throw my kicks on and rock anywhere does not mean that I can't be high maintenance. And we've seen plenty of these guys that are that way.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of. I mean, you obviously get a couple guys, because I see what you said right here in the chat. You said, I mean, hooping anywhere. 780 Hoops. I hear you, and I just don't. I think it's a lot of the same. I think it's just depends on who you are, and I think there's a lot of American hoopers that's if you're talking about the Ace Bailey situation, I think there's a lot of American hoopers that are looking at Ace like, yo, go to work, dog. You know what I'm saying? And so we've seen that actually. We've seen that with guys overseas that got drafted to a team they didn't want to play for and they stayed home. You know what I mean? Like,
and we've also seen American players who got drafted to teams and decided that I'm going to go across the water. I'm not going to play for the Clippers. I'm not going to play for, and just off the strength that this team just doesn't seem like they're doing anything and they're going to ruin my career, and I don't want to do that. And that part, that's just me taking control of my career. That's all that is. Right. That's not being a diva.
Yeah. So I don't think that's being a diva. I think that's being smart. But there are some diva ways or some prima donna ways with a lot of youngsters, because a lot of youngsters that just don't. Some of them lack the humility at that age, and lack guidance at that age, and that you can be from anywhere and have that problem. So, but good question though. 780 Hoops. Appreciate the super chat.
Absolutely,
definitely.
Thanks, brother.
Void Century with the super chat. In the words of ASAP Rocky, PMW, all the 19-year-old needs. Well, I guess so, man. But hey, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Yeah, except for the money, man. Get that money. Get that money. Wow, good super chat, Void.
PMW.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority. I'm in the dark about that, Ox. I try to stay as hip as possible, but I'm in the dark about that.
Yeah, well, P is for the ladies.
Okay.
You know, P is for the ladies.
M is for money.
Is for money's and see the W. I think these young hoopers need to stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that needs to go in your lungs is oxygen. Okay.
So weed. So it's the skunk. I got you.
Yeah. Stay off the weed.
I thought the W was for women. That's what I thought the W was for.
No, the P is
for women. I got you. I got you.
Y'all, you youngsters, man, y'all stay off. You know, maybe in the off season, if you need to relax a little bit after a workout, I'm all for you. But you athletes, man, trust me, it's not good for you, man. It's not good for you, man. Just only thing needs to go in your lungs is oxygen. 901 takeovers 9. What do you guys think about with the Lakers draft? But with the Lakers draft for pick Abdul picking up Eric Dixon.
I think it's interesting that he lasted where he did. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Eric Dixon. I mean, he led the country in scoring with the Villanova. So I mean, he's a bucket getter, 100% a bucket getter, and I think that he could help them. 100% he could help them. But recently, you know, guys like that haven't been that viable when it comes to the draft. Like they get scoffed at. You know, you're the leading scorer in the country. You're the second leading scorer in the country. I think that we can work with guys like that. If you see something like that, Cam Thomas, he was 5th in the SEC. I mean, he was 5th in the country in scoring when he came out. I think he led the SEC in scoring. Same thing with this kid.
Yeah, he did.
Same thing with this kid, Trey Johnson, with Texas. Led the SEC in scoring. Averaged 20 a game, 19.9, 20 a game. So, I mean, I think that when you have a guy who is a bucket getter, I mean, I can teach you how to score at the pro level. And if I could teach you how to score, if I could teach you how to score at the pro level, why does that not benefit me? Why is that not a good thing for me? There's no reason why it's not. And I think this kid, I think this kid Dixon could be really good for the Lakers. Really good.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to him. I see we got some guys in the lobby. We're gonna get to y'all. I want y'all to be thinking for the next couple minutes about your top moments of the 24-25 season for when I pull y'all up, because that is what we're gonna get into. That is the main segment of today's show. We want to talk about top moments of the 24-25 season. We want to do a quick review of that before we move on to the off-season talks, y'all. So Chill, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna get some of your top moments, and then I'm gonna get to the lobby and we're gonna start pulling guys up and let y'all chill with Chill. If you're new to the show, that's what we do. We talk ball and we chill with Chill. So, Chill, if I can get you to run down some of your top moments of this past season at your
well, I got a couple of them, Max. I got some playoff ones. I got some regular season ones. There's some ones that people aren't talking about. There's some ones that people are talking about. I'll start with and I'm gonna flip this one from 4 to 5. I'm gonna go with Foxy, and from earlier this year, I watched Minnesota and Sacramento get it on, and he had 60. Man, when I talk about him and Anthony Edwards went at it, I'm talking about they went at it. And Foxy ended up Anthony Edwards ended up hitting a go-ahead shot in the corner to ice the game in overtime. He had 36 that night, right? He had 36, but him and Foxy were at it. I'm talking about Foxy got downhill. He got to the rim. He got to the mid-range, knocking down free throws. Not just knocking down free throws, but also playing defense. They did as well as they could do against that Minnesota team. It's just Anthony Edwards at the end. That's what it turned into. It turned into a battle between those two guys, and Foxy was fantastic.
Chill, don't forget, that was on November 15th.
Sure.
Don't forget, on November 16th,
the next
Foxy
night,
went for 49.
He went for almost 50 the next night.
Yeah. He went for 49 the very next day.
The next night, he almost went for 50. That did happen, no doubt. At number 4, I'm gonna go with Aaron Nesmith. I mean, he goes for 20 in the 4th against the Knicks. That game was over, but the Indiana Pacers had proven throughout the course of the playoffs that you got to play 48 minutes. 47 minutes and 30 seconds ain't enough time. No, 46 minutes and 30 seconds, that's not enough time. You got to play the entire 48 minutes. And for Aaron Nesmith to go off for 20 in the fourth quarter, that was incredible, man. And for them to come back and win that game in overtime, yeah, that was incredible from that Indiana team. I definitely enjoyed that.
You know, Chill, and I don't want to derail your list, and I don't want to slow you down, but I just want to say real quick, because the day that conversation happened, when you and Ron were talking about where y'all had Kyrie, and Foxy and everybody else was talking about who they had in front of him, I'm just really happy that I missed that day. You know, because I don't know if I could. I don't know how much of that I could have took, and I think people just forget. I think people forget about Foxy. And it might be because he was in Sacramento for so long, and we don't get much love like that. I don't know what it is, but I think people just forget about Foxy, and I know he's not with us no more, but I hope that this year he reminds the league. I hope him and Victor Wembanyama remind the league. I hope De'Aaron comes out and reminds everybody, I am him.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. Please. I know you kind of forgot about who I was.
Chill, and I'm saying because I'm just be so flabbergasted. Like, what are y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? He's a hell of a defender. Nobody can stand in front of him. And you know what? He don't need no introduction. You know what I'm saying? Real hoop knowers. We've been watching Foxy since Kentucky. He don't need no introduction. Y'all better relax.
I've always been a big fan of Foxy. Always been a big fan of his, man. So, then when I found out that you was a Sacramento Kings fan, I just started watching him even more. So, yeah, I always been a big fan of Foxy, no doubt about it. So,
right. Well, go ahead. Get back to your list. I just wanted to throw that out there because that episode, Chill. See, that was the day I had to go to my son's elementary school graduation.
Sure.
And so I missed the whole show. I was listening in the car after. And I was just getting so mad. I'm like,
what are y'all dudes talking about? Y'all remember y'all know De'Aaron Fox? What are you me and Ron is up here fighting for our lives. Like, do I need to tell what don't you know about Fox that I need to tell you? What are we doing over here? Fox is awesome. I had him as a top 5 league guard at one point in the game. That's where I have him at. Yes.
Jalen Brunson was one that knocked him out of there for me in the season before. But still, go ahead, Chill. I don't want to because I could do this all day. Go ahead, Chill. Go ahead.
So at number 3, this was a midseason game. As you guys know, the Central Division. So Cleveland, Detroit, Milwaukee, Indiana all made the playoffs. All of them. So 4 teams in that division. So that was one of the toughest divisions in pro basketball, and it was a midseason game between Cleveland and Detroit, and Darius Garland ended up hitting a buzzer beater to win the game right at the logo. That was one of the best games that I'd seen all year long. They were in a dogfight. Both him and Cade Cunningham were going at it. I think that Evan Mobley was able to get a little bit tougher going up against Jalen Duren that day because it was tough. That was one of the tougher games. I really enjoyed that game, no doubt about it. I'm in the minority. I think that Halliburton buzzer beater against Milwaukee was bigger than any other buzzer beater that he made in the playoffs because that was for the series, Ox. Series over. We're done. We're moving on. Milwaukee's out. He misses that. We got game 5. We got game 5, and who knows what happens after that. But he gets that switch on to Giannis, gets downhill, gets Giannis to the basket, and ends up scoring on him. And just like that, Milwaukee's season is over. They're done. And Halliburton is moving on. That was one of the better games that I've seen. And for me, number uno, and again, I'm probably in the minority, Aaron Gordon's buzzer beater against the Clippers. Aaron Gordon's buzzer beater against the Clippers. I think that was the biggest, just so we clear, they lose that game, they go down 3-1. I think the series is over.
Oh, man.
I think the series is over. I think we're done. They end up losing that game.
That was the best thing, worst thing I ever seen in my life.
So awesome, so awful too.
My heart jumped out my chest at the same time, but dropped in my stomach. I was like, oh no. Like, I was like, yes, wait, no, don't do that. That was beautiful. I'm such an Aaron Gordon fan that I loved what Aaron Gordon did this season and the playoff run when he was healthy. That particular thing right there, Chill, that was maybe the best play I've ever seen in my life.
And don't forget, Ox.
Couldn't believe
they were up 20. The Clippers came back and cut the lead. And you remember how pissed I was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You remember how pissed I was with Denver? Joker, save us. Y'all was up 20. What do you mean save you? Y'all was up 20. Finish it. Why does he have to save you? He was the one who got you guys in this position. Finish it. No, the Clippers go on a 30-9 run. I'm watching this thinking, are they going to beat these dudes? Are these dudes going to go to pieces? And that's exactly what was happening. And Joker shoots a fall away, almost 25-footer, and here come Aaron Gordon out of nowhere. Boom, game over. Let's get the hell out of here. Otherwise, that series is 3-1 Ox. We come back to Los Angeles after we lose game 5, because we're going to lose game 5 in Denver. Lose game 5, we come back home, we end the series, Denver's out. That's what was going to happen.
Man, that was incredible, Chill. I remember that. And when it happened, I knew. I was like, oh, man, it's over. It's over. 3. They needed that. They needed that. Kawhi needed that. The Clippers needed that game bad. That was a hell of a series, man.
That was an awesome series.
That game, that first round series between the Nuggets and the Clippers. Man, I really Chill. These playoffs were amazing.
I'm on record saying, Ox, this is the best season that I've seen. And I ran down all the seasons. This is the best. The 24-25 NBA season is the best season that I've seen.
So the whole season and playoffs, or just the playoffs, or the whole thing?
Even from beginning to end. Like, yeah. I'm watching the action. I'm watching players develop. I'm watching players turn into what I think that they're going to turn into. Like I said, I'm watching a early season game between Sacramento and Minnesota, and I'm watching this kid Fox go for 60. That's what I'm doing. And I'm watching him in a duel with Anthony Edwards, who is arguably the best 2-guard in the game. This is the season just got started, Ox. Mm-hmm. We basically
early November, mid-November.
We 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the movie. That's what we starting with. Then I got Cleveland and Detroit, and I got Evan Mobley turning into what I think he's going to turn into. And Darius Garland is getting back to that all-star Darius Garland. And then on top of that, Nico Harrison just throws a grenade into the season. That's what Nico does.
Yeah, Nico shook things up.
Nico throws a grenade into the season. Boom. He's like, oh, my goodness, what are we doing? And then we get into the playoffs, and then the playoffs were just fantastic. The Indiana Pacers, the improbable Indiana Pacers, end up in the NBA championship. We got conversations about Tyrese Halliburton now being a top 10. It was incredible, Ox. This was the best season that I'd seen.
Yeah, I can't wait for next season, because I think this offseason is going to shake some things up. Mm-hmm. I hate the fact that 3 of the premier guys in the East are going to be down. Yeah. Tatum, Halliburton, and Dame. But I think we can still have a good season coming up. And yeah, once again, those playoffs were amazing too. I got one more super chat before we get to the lobby. It's another one from 780 Hoops. 780 Hoops says, Fox Spurs versus a starting Nembhard. Who you got next year? Don't be surprised if Nimby pull off a Brunson Light. Are we having conversations with Nembhard and Fox right now?
No, we're not. Mm-hmm. That's not a conversation. I'm not having that. That's not a conversation. No. Mm-mm. And I like Nembhard. I think Nembhard is a solid league guard. I think he's a 16, maybe 17 a game guy, and 4, 5, maybe 5, maybe 6 assists, and playing at a high level defensively. But him and Fox, there's a huge gap between those 2 guys. No, I'm not doing it.
It's a gap big enough for me to walk through.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get to the lobby though. Let's start. We're gonna start first come, first serve. We got football breakdown. What's up, football? You there?
Yo.
What's good, y'all?
What's up, brother?
Good. Just trying to enjoy my Saturday doing some work.
Mm-hmm.
So first, I would say my favorite moments in the season. Well, there's a couple things I want to get off. One, if Giannis somehow gets traded to a Western team, there would be no better time to do 1 through 16. Like,
this dude, this dude has been constantly telling me about this 1 through 6. He's actually sold me on it, because I've been an advocate of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Championship. I always felt like it meant something. But this dude to my left, man, he's constantly been on me about that. Chill. Can we get a 1 through? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm down to try it. I am. I'm down to try it. If it doesn't work, because he's been lenient with me. He's like, yo, if it doesn't work, chill. We can go back to the Eastern Conference, Western Conference thing. How about that?
Right. If it doesn't work, I know it'll mess up the awards. They just redeemed the awards, so it's unlikely they do it because of the new awards, the Western and Eastern Conference MVP. But it's like, I understand it's circumstantial and things will change over time, but it's like how lopsided, like especially with 3 of the superstars in the East going down. Right. If Giannis comes to the West, like it's just going to be so lopsided in terms of superstar balance and talent, I wouldn't like it, honestly. Jimmy Butler just came last year. KD's still in the West. Steph, Bron, Giannis, Luka. I mean, Embiid is injured. We don't know where he's going to be. And now Tatum and Halliburton are out. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird to me. And then in general, I think my favorite moment of the season was probably just the Pacers run in general, multiple moments. And then seeing Detroit triple their win total, and actually they probably should have actually eliminated the Knicks. I think that's really why Thibodeau got fired, because they really escaped by the skin of their teeth against that in that series against Detroit. The Knicks did, because they're, if not for a 21-0 run in the fourth quarter against an inexperienced team, they probably
this Detroit team lost almost 30 straight games last year.
Right. And then almost would have been. Can you imagine how cataclysmic it would have been if the Detroit, who was awful last year, comes and beats a Knicks team who traded all those for Miles and Cat? It would have been cataclysmic.
Yes, it would have been.
And that almost was their season, if not for inexperience and a huge comeback. And then the last thing I want to say is just in player evaluation, because I've noticed this when you guys talk about skills and comparing players from different eras or current players, there's a fundamental issue of people assessing skill and equating that to impact. And this is what I will say. Players with high winning impact are often very skillful, but not every highly skilled player has a lot of impact on winning.
Facts.
So that's why, like, when we say, oh, this guy has a hezzy tween, great handles, all this, I'm like, yeah, but how does he impact winning? You would be more skilled than me, have this X and Y, be better at shooting X, Y, and Z. But that doesn't necessarily mean you impact winning more than I do.
How much more has Draymond Green impact winning than whomever? Like in player whomever. How much more has Dennis Rodman impacted winning more? And this super skilled guy, how less of an impact has he had on winning?
I'll give you the perfect example of the guy who I think people call very skilled, but I just don't think he's a Globetrotter player. LaMelo Ball. Like, I don't care what his numbers say. He's not a high impact winning guy to me. Like,
I'm in the minority when I say that too.
Keep cooking.
Like, I don't see he's a Globetrotter player. Like, and honestly, I don't want to hate on her too much because we haven't seen much, but I think there's an aspect about Caitlin Clark's game that kind of takes away from the team. Just where her shot selection, it's kind of like she doesn't do it on purpose, like, look at me, but it doesn't not a catalyst for the team to get into flow. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's just I know
what you're talking about. And on top of that, they got a good ass team in Indiana.
Right.
Like, Aaliyah Boston is turning into a player.
Right.
100% she is. She is turning into a player. Kelsey Mitchell is gotten better running with her. Right? Sophia Cunningham. I think that we have a tendency, and I'm guilty of it. We have a tendency with star players to lose focus of how good this unit is and how they develop in this unit around this star player and how much better this unit has gotten. Not just because of the star player, but also how much better the star player has gotten because of the unit.
Right. So that to me, like, I love CC and all those players, but I just feel like in these debates we need to recognize what impact looks like and what just a skill set looks like. You can be highly skilled and have zero impact, like, if you don't know how to apply it correctly. So
that's a fact. That part I won't argue that.
Okay.
Oh, and then the last one, Denver losing when Jokic had 60, 10, and 10 to the Wizards. Hilarious.
That was one of your top moments?
Oh, yeah. just because, Swiper was going to run, first 60, 10, and 10 triple-double. Yeah, to the fucking Wizards. You shouldn't need that much to beat a terrible Wizard squad, but hey, y'all lost to them twice this year. Anyway.
Right. All right, football. Appreciate you, brother.
Bye.
We got actually a members chat from Nathan. We got a super chat from Nathan. A members chat from Nathan. I'm sorry. Nathan's been a member for 12 months, a whole year. Shout out to you, Nathan. We appreciate you. Nathan says, thoughts on the DeWanda Bonner situation in Indy. I've heard some things. I haven't really done extensive research on this. I can't really speak to what's going on over there, but it's a little weird. I don't know.
She just
it's a
won it
little
out,
weird.
right?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Thought it seemed at the beginning of the season looked like she was having a good time in Indy. But there's so much behind the scenes things that happen, and especially in the WNBA. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but when you're dealing with women, there's certain things that come up. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on over there, but Dewana's a legend. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to give her the benefit of the doubt on this one. So, Chill, have you heard anything on this?
I haven't heard much except she left for personal reasons and she wanted out, and they ended up releasing her. That's all. That's all I know about it. But Mr. Sauce Man is about to get my blood pressure through the roof. Because to say that
Yerka is a baller though.
I ain't gonna say that she ain't a baller, Ox. Let's be clear about that, right? I mean, in Los Angeles, in my estimation, I think they should be better than what they are. Because I've actually spoken to you about Stevens. I really dig her. She's one of my favorite players in the game. I really dig her. But Sauce, I'm sorry, brother. There is a gap between Derica and Asia. I apologize, brother. I know that you don't want to hear it, but there's a gap between those two. And the gap, and it's a noticeable gap. And Derica is a baller. I'm not going to argue that. She doesn't glass clean like Asia does. She doesn't have that mid-range like Asia does. No, she doesn't. She's definitely not the defender that Asia is. So, I mean, I'm sorry, brother. No.
And Sauce, with that being said, Asia got to step it up a little bit.
Yes, she does.
She's having a solid year, but this isn't a GOAT-worthy season for Asia right now.
Even though she's had the last 4 GOAT-worthy seasons.
Right. So it's not GOAT-worthy right now, but I got nothing but faith in Asia, so it'll be okay, y'all. It'll be okay, y'all. Be easy. Only 16 games in, man. Calm down. It'll be okay. You know what though? Pop-out plays. I blame Bam too. Man, get your black ass on somewhere. Let this girl play some basketball. God damn. Telling you, Chill. If I see Bam, I'm beating Bam up.
Is it with me and Ron? When I see it's on site? We boxing. I'm gonna put my hands on Bam. I see him, man. What are you doing, man? Yeah. We are boxing.
She was playing great, then you come and interfering. Big head ass boy.
Do a monkey wrench and everything. We boxing when I see you, Ron.
And what you laughing at? Yeah,
because I was thinking the exact same shit that you was. I was like, yo, Bam is Bam is taken from her. You know what we said during the damn NBA season? Asia is laying something on him. That's what we said. I was like, yo, Bam, what the hell are you doing on the court?
I had Bam making the All-Pro team this last season. I had Bam,
and that would have been bad for Pat Riley, because if he really had to come out of pocket for him, bro, he probably would have left Miami altogether. Me and you know that. So I was saying the same thing. This is not a good relationship, bro. Bam and Asia, bro, they just drain each other, bro. Pause. I ain't gonna even say it like that, but
it's true though. If you think about it,
I will say this though. If those two decide to procreate,
you're gonna get a ball.
I'm talking about wow.
Listen,
that kid is gonna be something else, boy.
Man, listen, if they procreate, right, and that better be a top 15 player all time, man, at minimum. The hell with all that bullshit.
Yo, they can have a volleyball player, a basketball, anything.
A volleyball.
But you getting a big fella. If you get a dude, you getting a big fella. You getting
somebody. Oh, yeah, if you get a dude, bro, you better be getting a top 10 all-time center. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. Like I'm not having nothing less. But
what up, Lee? What up?
Yeah, what's good though?
What's going on? I'm just continuing my farewell tour, man. I got 2 more weeks. I just got rid of my car and everything, so I'm on foot. I'm just gonna get the exercise in Brooklyn for the last 2 weeks. But
you don't need a car.
You out of there in 2 weeks, Lee?
Yeah, you don't need no car.
Yeah. I do need a car in New York because public transportation ain't it. But it's summertime, so I'm gonna just walk it out. So just walk the rest of it. But before I get into the moments of the year, but the Dallas situation that I was referring to the other day, I do agree with you, Bobby. They are the best front court in the league. They do have the best front court in the league because I will have to say that Chilltown did get me on to the Cavs train. Not that I needed to get on because of the coach. I was already on sold. But the fact that you got me on now today, I'm pissed off because of what happened. And this is what I think of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
This right here. This is what I think of them.
Is that mayonnaise?
Yes. Hellman's.
I'm not. Okay, so
you're not so soft. You know that's how soft they are to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how soft they and
he ain't pulled the Miracle Whip because he ain't got no Miracle Whip. That's what he would have pulled.
No. I don't got that shit. I don't even play like that. But I got that. I got the Mott's, bro. Like whatever type of soft you could think of, that's how they are. Because Chilltown has let me know that they don't got nobody on that bench that's saying, yo, F that, man. We winning this whole thing. And I still don't think that they got nobody on this bench that got that's going to say that coming into the season because they just got rid of Okoro for Lonzo. I don't know how that's going to work out. I like the trade in terms of like what the skill set brings, but I just want to see Lonzo hit the court and get better. But the Dallas situation, there is a point guard vacancy. We got to admit that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Kyrie to the one. We're gonna put Coop at the one. I love it, kid.
This ain't 2K. This is not 2K.
You can try it. You can try it.
No. Mm-hmm. Listen, everybody thinks Jason Kidd could turn anybody into a playmaker, which he probably can. Because I ain't gonna lie, I seen AD doing some incredible shit, man, when he had the ball in Dallas last year. But I would like to see what it looks like without Kyrie for the foreseeable months. I didn't, however, talk about the draft. The draft, it was what it was. I mean,
when you move, Leaf, are you still riding with Brooklyn?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
I'm here. Bro, this is home. I've been residing here since 1988. That's 30-something years, bro. I don't got no reason to leave now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. But I kind of felt for Bobby the other day because when people get to talking about your backyard of pause or your neck of the woods, it could be a little bit shaky. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt about people running their mouth about what's going on up here.
But we got to
Leaf. You were a Nets fan when they were in Jersey?
No.
Yeah. Vince Carter was my guy.
Okay.
Vince was my guy. I was following Vince everywhere. But the moment of the year, which disgusted me the most was obviously Luka to the Lakers. And what disgusted me even more was Dallas getting the number 1 pick all after the fact. That's what disgusted me the most, man. It's absolutely disgusting.
It's a game of give and take, Leaf.
But all right, I guess it is.
We got to keep it moving.
You get the number 1 pick.
Yeah, we got to keep it moving, Leaf. Good to talk to you, brother. Absolutely,
all right, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let me see who we got left. Okay, Tavius. What's going on, fam?
What up?
Yo, what's good, fellas? It's been a while. But this was a funny season. This was a hilarious season because like you had Amen Thompson just throwing Tyler Hero on the ground for no reason. Like he didn't need to ragdoll him like that. And then like you just be seeing Nico Harris is just saying, I don't like Luka. Get him out of here.
Then I gotta watch my back. Don't leave that part out. Like after I do that, I gotta watch I can't go places now. I gotta watch my back.
Yeah, and then that entire Pacers run to me was just hilarious because like you just see this like most insane comebacks, and you just like, how do you collapse like that? How? Like it shouldn't be possible.
The Houston Rockets playing against Brooklyn, and they up 2 possessions with 9 seconds. And they spit it out. I was like, what the hell are these dudes?
The Lakers losing to the Chicago Bulls off of Josh Giddey.
Bonehead James throwing the ball inbounds and turning the ball over. He knew it was a bonehead play, too. He knew it. He said it.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was just a funny season. But I was going to say, but for like actual moments that I really liked about the season, because like I said, I'm an OKC fan. And, oh, man, watching that entire like Shea run was just so special. It was so special. Because now Shea can technically say he's the first player to ever win a conference finals MVP, a finals MVP, and a regular season
I'm the
MVP.
first one to do it.
Oh yeah, let me add the scoring title to it because why not, right?
I'm the first one to do it.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
yeah,
He did get that.
and I doubt that anyone is gonna do that again for a long time because that's just something that happens in like a 1 in a million seasons, or like in all actuality, like 1 in 10 seasons. But like I just have a question for y'all real quick. Like, so what team like are you looking for to make like really big moves throughout this off season to improve that you think will take them from being either a play-in team to a playoff team or a playoff team to title contender?
Like a real contender.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to what the Blazers are doing. I got the Blazers making the playoffs next year.
I do too. Yes, sir.
I don't think that I don't think they're that far away from challenging in the Western Conference for a playoff spot. I think Scoot's going to be a lot better next year. I think they got their foundation with their big guy in Klingon. They're going to lose DeAndre Ayton. I love this kid, Tamari Kamara. I mean, I love him. That's probably the team that I'm thinking about the most. I think that they're going to move off of Grant. I think they're going to move off of Ayton. I think the Blazers are going to be right in the middle of this playoff race next season.
My God. Get them out of here. Garbage. Trash. Garbage.
Get him out of here.
Get him
All
out
right,
of here.
fam. Yep. All right, fam. Appreciate you pulling up.
Whose house? Rams house. Yeah, I'm a Rams fan, Jill.
Niners, baby. Yeah. Niners, baby. Later, yo.
And then football season right around the corner too, man. Chill, before we get out of here, I just want to just retouch on the topic that's been going around social media. It's been all over Twitter, all over Instagram, all over the internet, and we talked about it yesterday on the panel. I don't want to call it a situation, but the Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant thing. If I had a better team, I win a ring. But by me not winning a ring, does that make me less of a player? I want to just kind of maybe bring a little closure to that conversation. Just talk about it a little more.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, when I hear what he's saying, I don't have to make too much of it. When I hear what he's saying, like if you replace me with Kobe, do I win a championship? Okay, that's not the same as would I do the same thing as he was doing. No.
Right.
If you take Brian off that crew and you put me on that crew, would we win the championship? Now, would we win 3 in a row? All right, that remains to be seen. But would we win a championship? I do think that they would win it because I think Shaq was that good. I think that team was that good. But in terms of us winning the championship 3 straight years, Ox, I think what goes by the wayside is people not accepting, especially during that time, what they had to go through to get to that point. You know, Bryant shooting air balls and then them losing in the Western Conference Finals to Utah and getting swept, and then Shaq getting swept again in 1999 by the San Antonio Spurs, and him and Bryant building that camaraderie and them building that chemistry between those guys that once by the time that they got to the championship, that we're going to be here for a while. I can't just take a guy off that unit who built that with him and then replace him with another guy and then expect it to work out like that. But can I expect it to work once? Yeah, 100% I can, because I think at that point, I think Shaq was that good. I do think that he would have to compensate a little bit more, because I think that there was a separation. And I know how you feel about Tracy McGrady, but I think that there was a separation between Brian and McGrady with the other stuff. As far as a bucket getter, I don't think that there were. I don't during that time. I don't think that it was like this. I do think that they were pretty similar, but I think Bryant did the other stuff. He took the assignments. He stuck his nose in there and rebounded. He made extra, even though it was difficult to do, but he did end up making extra passes when he recognized that, in order for us to win, this is what I have to do. I just think the extra stuff on top of that, having those other guys who also had the same chemistry with Shaq, as opposed to Tracy McGrady, I think that kind of stuff matters. 100% matters.
There's so much more that goes into basketball than just putting the ball in the bucket. You know what I mean?
Not that simple. It's not.
With that being said, though, I think we all have seen in those moments, or back in the time we're talking about. Because I want to be clear to everybody. I believe that when T-Mac was talking about that, I believe he was talking about that first three-peat. He wasn't talking about past, all of that, because at that time, I don't think it was really anybody that had Kobe over T-Mac in those early years. You know what I'm saying? And that's no knock to Kobe because he was great. Tracy McGrady was I believe, just a step above as far as where they were in their careers. Now, Kobe did 100% catch T-Mac, and he caught him quick, and he passed him. You know what I'm saying? By 06, 07, 08, Kobe was better. Kobe was here. T-Mac was not there. But when they were younger, I think T-Mac was the better player. And we've seen T-Mac, lock in and play defense. We've seen that. We've seen T-Mac with the ability to play defense. I do think that he gets at least one with Shaq. And I think that's, you know what I'm saying? I think it maybe two, it may be three. I don't know. But I think he can get one. And these are conversations, these hypotheticals. These hypotheticals are conversations that we'll never have the answers to. And a lot of sometimes it comes to a bias. Sometimes it comes to certain things. But we got to remember Kobe was doing some incredible things in those playoff runs. So T-Mac would have some big shoes to fill, but I think he was capable at that time. And from 2000, 2003, all those times, I think T-Mac had the game to get it done. I have Kobe Bryant over Tracy McGrady. And you know what? And to kind of get to the conversation that they were having, I do think that matters. Yes, Tracy McGrady, you didn't get any rings. Kobe Bryant's a better basketball player than you. Just if that's the question you have, T-Mac, Mac Sauce, if that's the question you have, I got the answer for you. Yes. If you would have had a better team and got some rings, yes, maybe we could talk about you. But Mac, you're not in the conversation, dog. And that's no knock to your game, because there was a time when Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett, Dwayne Wade, Tim Duncan, Rasheed Wallace, these were my dudes. You know what I'm saying? And but it doesn't matter. You got winning absolutely matters. We are here. We are here to win. That's what we're here for. We're here to win. T-Mac, you did not win. You did not get out the first round, and that is inexcusable. I don't care. You were that good at basketball that I cannot look past you not getting out the first round. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. I know you didn't have T-Mac did not have the teams at the level of Kobe Bryant. And I think two things can be true. I think we can all admit that Kobe Bryant's teams were better than Tracy McGrady's teams. Mm-hmm. That's okay. That's not a knock at Kobe Bryant.
Clearly better, by the way.
It's not a conversation.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? That's not a knock on Kobe. Mm-hmm. It's just the truth. But the other truth is that T-Mac, you're not in Kobe Bryant conversations. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get it done. You didn't get out the first round. You didn't prove that you were a winner. You know what I'm saying? And to be one of these greats and to be in these top 10, top 15 conversations, you have to have the will to win. You have to have times where you willed your team to victory. If you're up 3-1, you need to get that done. And Mac Sauce, you can't go back and change history, dog. You are where you are. And that's just what it is. You were a great one of the best basketball players I ever seen play basketball, but you're not in that great conversation. You needed to get the rings, dog. And that's the answer to that question. I don't know if you feel that Chill winning.
No, I'm an advocate of winning, as you know. I do have winning. I don't have it at the top of the list, but it's right there like third on the list, because you can't just be out here kicking ass and it doesn't mean anything. That doesn't hold a lot of weight with me, and it's never really held a lot of weight with me. I'm not one of these guys that, a guy's averaging 30 a game, but we're not doing anything with this. So no, you're dominating, but where did we go with this? That's why I'm so high on Malone. That's why I care about Karl Malone as a basketball player as much as I do, because that 28-11, we was in the Western Conference Championship. We was in the NBA Finals. We was making deep playoff runs off the strength of him. So, I mean, when you're talking about being a great player, as good as you are in terms of your skill set, if that shit ain't leading to nothing, then I don't care. I don't.
Right. Chill. Karl Malone gets one of those rings, he's in my top 10. If he wins in 97 or 98, he's in my top 10.
We gotta have a different conversation about Malone. Different.
Yeah, y'all can whatever. All the reasons y'all don't like Karl Malone, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? Terrible for whatever happened. But as far as the basketball players, Karl Malone would 100% be in my top 10.
Yep.
Charles Barkley, if he wins in 93, he gets a lot more respect. And that's how basketball is supposed to be. That's how sports are supposed to be. You don't win, you're not in these talks. I don't care who you are. Allen Iverson, you're not in these conversations.
This is an exclusive club, Ox. When I walk up to the door, what's the first thing that they ask me? Can I see your credentials? If I don't have these credentials, what does that mean, Ox?
You don't belong here.
You can't get in. Sorry.
Chill. We all have to humble ourselves at times. Chill. Admittedly so. I've tried to get in places, and they were like, "Bro, who the hell are you?" You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
and I'm like, you know what? You're right. Let me go on about my business. Let me go down the street and go where I belong. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. That's all. But let me get through a couple of these super chats, and we'll get out of here and let y'all carry on with y'all beautiful Saturdays. I know y'all got a lot going on today. We won't hold you up too long.
My phone. I'm sorry, because Claire is kind of
Claire don't play. We 3 minutes over and she's on it. Andrew G says players need to play more outside, get tougher bodies. All right. I don't know about that. I do know that as a youngster, you shouldn't duck playing on a blacktop. You know what I'm saying? You know, play ball. Bob Solo says, so are Cavs soft because they haven't made it past the second round, or is it because of Donovan hate? I think Cavs are serious and can make the Eastern Conference Finals. Go New York.
You could be serious and soft at the same time. Like, you got to get tougher. There are boxers who are serious, but I'm scared to get hit. Okay, we got to fix that. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are serious. They just soft. We got to fix that. That don't mean they ain't serious. They're 100% serious.
Yeah. Got another super chat from 780 Hoops. Appreciate you, 780 Hoops. This is maybe your fourth or fifth super chat today. Shout out to you. 780 Hoops says, and I like this. I try to be modest, but I like this super chat. Chillin' Ox, stop it. Last leg Shaq won with third year Wade. What the F? Prime Shaq need way more respect. T-Mac easily wins with Prime Shaq. I agree.
So Shaq was on his last leg, but he still was elite though. 100%.
Yeah. But chill, that's just my problem. That's the thing. Like the monkey wrench in this conversation is the beast that Shaquille O'Neal was when they went on that three-peat. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying people, well, T-Mac's not Kobe. He's not good. Yeah, you're right. But he would have been playing with that dude. So you don't gotta be Kobe. You know what I'm saying? You can be a little less than Kobe and get it done. That's all I'm saying. But guys, that's the show today. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Anybody that's new here, appreciate you. We'll be back on Thursday. Then we'll be back on the Saturday after that. The season is over, but the show must go on. So we'll be here to give y'all straight hoop talk. We'll be on the panel on Monday. If you're looking for us, you know where to find us. Chill. Anything for the people?
We'll see you guys soon. You know where to find us at. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hit my man. He'll hit you. Hey, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. Talk to you guys soon, man. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all on Monday, man. We'll catch y'all on Monday. Never, ever, ever drink or drive, y'all. We'll see y'all soon, man.
Absolutely.
Peace.